Hello my viewers. I left off on my last video about making sure that if you're moving to Florida to buy property that's high and dry, especially if you don't really like flooding. So, and the best way I think to make sure that you're buying property that's high and dry is to hire a real estate agent that is knowledgeable about the area that you're buying. All right, that has seen these areas flood when they flood, or get a local real estate agent, definitely. I know this is going to make some real estate agents unhappy when I say this, but I mean, hiring, we'll say, a real estate agent from Miami just to buy a property that's, say, in Gainesville or Lake City or something like that, that's just doesn't work right, because they're not familiar with those areas. They don't know where areas flood or don't flood. They don't know what is really available to your liking. Plus, they can't really be there. Okay, they can't open doors for you. They might be able to get somebody in the area to open doors for you, but what's the point in hiring somebody in Miami? Okay, so get somebody that's local. I've found that is the best solution. Alright, so I sort of damaged the roof a little bit while I was walking around up here. And what I'm going to do here, I've got some spray adhesive first. Okay, I'm just going to make a temporary repair. I've already brushed off the area. Alright, affected, and doesn't say that I have to, put the spray adhesive down, but I happen to know that any other, like tape or anything like that you plan to put on there is going to stick a lot better if you use spray adhesive. So what I bought here is this leak stopper waterproof tape. Hopefully this will help, or at least in a temporary sense. So here we go. I'm just going to peel the backing off, if it'll let me. Yeah, I'll have to probably set the camera down. Alright, because of the camera angle and everything, and what I had to do to get up here, I had to do everything off camera. So there it is. At least should hold as a temporary patch. So another thing I want to talk about is how this is a really kind of a bad timing for me to do this project, because I am creating so much trash, or should I say, I'm covering a lot of trash, and I have to get rid of it. The best way for me to do that is by renting dumpsters. So the problem with that is right now dumpsters are in high demand because of the storms we've had in Florida. So their policies in these companies are kind of really weird. Let's say, I'll give you an example. I ordered a 30-yard dumpster last time around, and when it arrived, it turned out it was a 20-yard, but I was charged for a 30-yard. So, how can they charge me for a 30-yard when they only sent me a 20? So I complained about it, obviously, and they refunded me some money. But the refund's a joke. It was only $30. That extra 10 yards was valuable to me, a lot more than $30. Now, the reasoning behind them sending me a 20 yard instead of 30 yard is because they didn't have any 30 yards at the time, but they had 20 yards, so they went ahead and sent me 20 so that I would have something. I mean, but that's a bad policy. Any company should realize that that's a bad policy. I'm still in the middle of trying to figure out what to do about that situation. I've had comments in my previous videos about, am I going to do any more air conditioning videos? Well, yeah, I will. Probably when I install an air conditioning system for this mobile home and things like that. I just don't do air conditioning professionally anymore. Now, I quit my last, we'll say, HVAC type of a job about a month ago, and I kind of am very happy doing what I'm doing right now with these renovations. It's really kind of satisfying for me. I'll say even more so than doing air conditioning. Well, the last job I had, I enjoyed quite a bit, really. But I didn't really feel confident enough half the time doing the conveyor belt type of pizza ovens. And I mean, I was doing it. It's just that I always didn't really feel that I was confident enough doing it. I didn't really have the knowledge that I really needed for some reason. And it was that, and also I didn't really like the pressure doing the pizza ovens, because when you walk in, the managers or the owners or whoever's in charge would they would assume that you're there to get that pizza oven rolling like within minutes or something. Like all you gotta do is hit a button or something. But the reality is a lot of times you need parts, and they would tend to blow apart when you tell them that it's not going to happen that day. Because I really didn't have any parts to speak of on my truck for that kind of thing. At the job I had, though, I was mainly doing hot site equipment. That's fryers, griddles, ovens, kettles, that kind of restaurant equipment. And I mean, I kind of enjoyed a lot of that. I mean, I enjoyed going to Taco Bell's and, of course, Popeyes and a lot of those places. But anyway, I'm very, very happy doing what I'm doing right now. It's just, I don't know. I mean, if you look at the videos here, I feel like I'm accomplishing something. Maybe sometimes I get into things a little bit over my head, but I don't think so. Not in this case. I have actually watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to, say, repair mobile homes, and I feel very confident in what I'm doing right now. Now, right now, as I do the demolition of the mobile home here, or actually, the portions that I'm doing demolition, I don't really feel that it's necessary for me to be doing this in regular speed or to really teach anything, because I mean, I realize right now what I'm doing is mainly an ASMR type of a video. Okay, if you're not sure about what ASMR videos are, you can look them up. They're just kind of one of those satisfying to view type of videos. And although I mean, I think it actually is maybe even helpful to some people to see what I'm doing. I don't really believe that it's necessary for me to narrate exactly what I'm doing every step of the way, because it's just not that important. I mean, it's almost self-explanatory, really. I know I gotta admit that having to remove this roof and everything off this addition kind of a little nerving for me. Always, kind of wondering if it's going to collapse on me, but the reality is it was never going to collapse on me because those hurricane straps where those rafters are connected up towards the roof there, I mean, they were solid. As you see, I'm pulling those 2x6s apart, and I mean, it's not even moving. I mean, I had to cut those out. I mean, I started using my pry bar to pull the nails out of the hurricane straps, but I found later on that it was really a lot easier just to use the Sawzall just to cut them out of there. It was at least kind of a learning experience for me, really. I started feeling a lot more confident, but you can't get cocky about anything. I mean, you could always hit yourself or with a hammer or anything. I mean, so you always have to be very careful about anything. You could step on a nail. I mean, that was one thing that I had to worry about here is a lot of nails sticking up around the edges of this deck. I had to stomp them all down to because otherwise I was going to, sure enough, walk right on top of a nail. That would not have been good at all. If there's any particular subject that you'd like for me to cover in future videos, please let me know in the comments. I can cover anything from air conditioners to aliens. You don't have to like this video, but it would be big of you if you subscribe and comment. Thank you for watching.